What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Run It Back Nation. This is DJ Eastwood, Run It Back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. You know the drill. Hit the like button on the stream. That helps me out greatly, especially how I'm feeling right now. Make me feel a little bit better and hit the like button, man. This post-game live show is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Get the Lawnmower 4.0 at Manscaped.com. Use the code NOINTRO for 20% off and free shipping. Skin-safe technology. A flashlight. It's very quiet. Clean yourself up, man. Feel better about yourself, especially after watching a game like this. Okay. Wow. And join the Discord. The link is in the description. We're going to start taking live calls via Discord once we get enough people in there. Because you guys don't listen to me. I probably have to say it for a year for people to actually join the Discord. But anyway, the Philadelphia 76ers lose a tough one to the Denver Nuggets, 114-110. In an epic duel matchup of two MVP candidate players, Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. This game delivered. If you wanted NBA entertainment, if you wanted playoff atmosphere, if you wanted high-intensity, high-pressure situations, this game delivered. I said I wanted it to come down to the wire. Obviously, I wanted the Philadelphia 76ers to win the damn game. They did not win the game. And I guess right off the bat, I'm just going to go straight to the end of the fourth quarter, man. Where are my stats at, bro? We're going. That's not what I want. Sorry, I'm flustered because I'm pissed off, man. We want this. There we go. Okay, we're going straight to the fourth quarter. The Sixers blow it in the end, and they blow it in the end. Partly because the chemistry is still not there with James Harden, Joel Embiid, everybody on the floor. They're still learning each other. James is still learning everybody on this team, and you could see in that final possession, we were kind of in a situation where nobody knew what to do with the basketball. I give the Nuggets credit. They fronted James Harden just like the last two teams that we played that we struggled with. Now, I wasn't like angry at the 76ers effort or performance or anything in this game. These are two good teams. These are two playoff-bound teams. These are going to be two teams that are hard to beat in a 7-game series, each with an MVP caliber player leading the charge. So I was happy the Sixers showed up with energy, put up a fight. Game went down to the wire. They didn't piss me off like they did against the Orlando Magic, even though we won that game. That's a moral loss, if you ask me, and we got smoked by the Nets. So I was happy with the Sixers' effort and performance overall in this game. But when it came down to the fourth quarter crunch time plays, we folded. And again, I want to give the Nuggets credit for the defense that they played on James Harden. They had a strategy for him right off the jump, and James answered too, by the way. James answered too. James Harden finished the game with 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists, 1 rebound away from a 24-point triple-double. I can't be mad at him for his performance in this game. I don't really enjoy only 11 shot attempts from James Harden. Doc Rivers said, he wants James Harden to come out and be the more aggressive version of himself. Only having 11 shot attempts in this entire game isn't quite there as far as the aggressiveness. But again, it's teams that are fronting the screen, that are blitzing the screen, that are coming around the screen and double teaming him pretty much almost at half court. And I said this plenty of times before. This is what they used to do to him in Houston when he had games where he was unstoppable scoring-wise, shooting, getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line. Teams will blitz the screen. They'll double-team you and make you give the ball to someone else. So it really kills you as the Sixers are concerned, because our complaints before James Harden came onto this team was that we don't have a go-to guy in the fourth quarter outside of Joel Embiid. We don't have a player we can give the ball to and say, go get a bucket. Now we have that player in James Harden, But the Denver Nuggets did a good job of just straight up double teaming him at the top. There was so many possessions in a row in that fourth quarter, actually the whole game, where they would run kind of what looked like a zone. I don't know if I'm wrong, correct me. Maybe it was a zone where they would double team Harden at the top. A lot of times with Nikola Jokic alongside Will Barton, whoever was up at the top there, they would double team him right at the top, right off the bat, and force him to get rid of the ball. And a lot of times he gave the ball to Joel Embiid right at the free throw line, and Embiid would have a player one-on-one, and he wasn't necessarily attacking as much as I liked. Maybe it is a back-to-back. They flew, they flew from Orlando back to Philly. So it was a back-to-back. Maybe Embiid was tired in the fourth quarter. You do start to notice throughout the course of his career watching him on back-to-backs, he seems to settle. I'd like to actually look up the stat for this, but on back-to-backs, he seems to settle for jump shots a lot more than attacking and being overly physical. Might be fatigue after playing last night in Orlando. I don't know, but especially that fourth quarter, they double-team James Harden at the top. Joel Embiid catches the ball at the free throw line and settles for jump shots a lot of times, most of the time. And I was frustrated by that with Joel Embiid. Now, he finished the game with 34 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, a steal against the other MVP candidate, Nikola Jokic. So I'm happy with the Embiid performance. He showed up and dominated for most of this game. And even though he was settling for jump shots, he was making a lot of them. But in those last couple final possessions, especially that final possession. So, Maxey drives to the rim with 17 seconds left, finishes over Jokic, takes a big forearm to the rib cage. Of course, no call because Tyrese Maxey doesn't get foul calls like the rest of the players in the NBA get. That's just Maxey and B. Still, the refs still treat him like a rookie. But he drives to the basket and finishes over Jokic. A tough finish for Tyrese Maxey in that situation. I love that about him. I love that they with them double teaming Harden, fronting Embiid. Embiid swings it. You're like, somebody has to step up. Somebody has to step up. Somebody has to step up. With 17 seconds left, Tyrese Maxey drives baseline, finishes over Jokic with 17 seconds left, and we foul immediately. Will Barton goes to the free throw line, misses one. Harden brings the ball down the floor. The Nuggets front him again. Quick double team right at half court. He passes it to Embiid. Same play I was talking about this entire game. He passes it to Embiid right at this was outside the 3-point line, which is what we've been arguing about, for years now with this team. Why the hell is Embiid catching the ball outside the 3-point line with 7 seconds on the clock, and then he has to try to create as a 7'2" center. But that's what happened. He caught the ball at the 3-point line right there, and he kind of folded under pressure in that moment. He kind of looked like he didn't know what to do with the ball. He made an emergency pass into the corner for a George Niang 3, who was absolutely smothered in the corner. He shot it off the side of the damn backboard and got his own rebound with a little over 2 seconds left and shot a 2-pointer. We're down 3. Niang gets his own board with 3 seconds left. Does not kick it out, but instead shoots a mid-range 2-point shot with under 3 seconds left. It's a good thing I don't live stream games because it's not okay the way that I react to these things. I was kicking things in my living room. I was just irate. I could not believe that I just watched this dude shoot a 2-pointer with 3 seconds left in the game. My goodness, just absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable, just folding in crunch time by the entire Sixers offense. It's annoying that we were up. We started out the game so hot, and we were up by, I think we had a 20-point lead at one point. I remember it being 15 or 17 or 18. The first quarter we came out with great energy. Embiid scored the first 5 points of the game. Nikola Jokic fell for the pump fake, and he drives and gets a wide-open dunk. The Sixers go on a 12-0 run in the first quarter. The crowd's cheering and going crazy. It's amazing. Oh, my God, we're out here smacking the Denver Nuggets. Joel Embiid showing up Nikola Jokic. And we're all on Twitter talking trash way too soon. We end up losing the game. Tobias Harris is somebody that I guess I have to talk about in this game, because how does Tobias Harris have 7 points in the first quarter and finishes the game with 10? Let me say that one more time. How does Tobias Harris have 7 points in the first quarter and finishes the game with 10? How does he fall apart like this? How? I want to know. Somebody explain it to me. How does Tobias Harris disappear after a quick 7 points in the fourth quarter? I don't understand. I thought in the first quarter he looked like the Tobias Harris that we want him to be. You know, the quick trigger, quick decision maker, catching the ball in the corner, just firing away without hesitation. Sea Serpent, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Scores 7 points. And then you don't see him do anything for the rest of the game. I think he had another three-pointer over the course of maybe in the third quarter somewhere. But I just looked at the stat sheet, and I'm like, how in the world did Tobias Harris score 7 in the first and finish the game with 10? That blows my mind. I don't understand. I was happy with what I saw from him in the beginning, and then he disappeared. Sea Serpent says, defense was lacking when we needed it the most. We also need to upgrade our role players in the offseason. I can't live with Danny Green making so many mistakes in the fourth quarter. Yeah, listen, Danny Green's a 3 and D player. I don't know if the D is there that much anymore. Pause. But he's not a guy that you should be forcing to make decisions in the fourth quarter. You see what I'm saying here? It's like how we got a Matisse Thybulle 3-point attempt in the fourth quarter because we swung the ball too many times. Maxey didn't take the open 3. There was one where Tobias had it in the corner, didn't take the open 3. We were swinging the ball too many times because nobody wants to shoot it. This is an ever-occurring thing with this team this year, is hesitancy to just shoot the damn ball. And I don't want Matisse Thybulle shooting a 3-pointer in the fourth quarter of crunch time of an NBA game. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. And we talk about it a lot. Now, I guess I'll talk about Matisse Thybulle now that I'm on the topic. We talk about that a lot, the fact that Matisse Thybulle's defense is amazing. His defense was so good in this game. I think he set a career high in steals. It was amazing. But he's so unplayable in the half court. In crunch time, it hurts your team. And you saw it in that possession that I'm talking about where he got the wide open 3 because they're going to front Harden. They're going to blitz around the screen. Then they're going to quick double Joel Embiid as soon as he drops it down because they're not guarding Matisse Thybulle. Nobody's guarding him out there. So, yeah, he gets a wide open shot and he takes it, but you don't want him shooting the ball. And that's why then they put Danny Green in the game, and everybody's mad at Danny Green, but at least Danny Green can make a 3-pointer, at 36%, maybe 37% at this point in his career. So the second quarter, we get a little bit of a Joel Embiid, DeMarcus Cousins matchup. That was interesting. I remember DeMarcus Cousins signed with the Denver Nuggets. I've heard his name a couple of times, maybe like falling asleep to NBA games and ESPN's still on at like 11 o'clock at night. But I haven't seen DeMarcus Cousins play. I didn't even see him play when he was with the Milwaukee Bucks. But of course, against us, he just starts bombing threes. Thybulle had a block on Jokic in the second. James Harden had a nice no-look, a lob to DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan's another story, another player we can talk about that is like, why is he out there? I wasn't mad at the signing. I thought Paul Millsap didn't need to be on the floor. He's getting absolutely torched as far as rebounding goes, so I liked signing another 7-footer, a 7-foot veteran. But DeAndre Jordan's not really giving you a whole lot. James Harden, gives him a nice lob and he gets a dunk, and I'm thinking like, hey, there's a little bit of a vintage DeAndre Jordan. Maybe Harden and DeAndre will build a little bit of chemistry going on there, but Harden was coaching Maxey in the second quarter. I like that. Again, that was, they ran a couple of plays to get Maxey involved. Maxey finishes his game with 17 points. That was something I'll take away from this game as a positive, because Maxey has disappeared the last two games, and I think James Harden was really trying to get him involved, really trying to get him to be aggressive going to the rim. So there was a lot of those plays in the third quarter, or the second quarter and the third quarter, where Harden would get double teamed at the top and Maxey would slash to the basket and Harden would hit him through the, and Harden was telling him to go, go, go. And then they did it like 2 or 3 possessions in a row. We were up by 15 and the Nuggets went on a 10-0 run to end the second quarter. So, you just, when you get up, man, you gotta hold a lead. It's a game of runs. I understand that, but you're not gonna put away a game safely when you're giving up 10-0 runs to end the first half. The third quarter was when I thought Embiid was again relying on the jump shots on those little mid-range, catching the ball at the free throw line when Harden would get double teamed around the pick and roll. I do like that we ran the Harden Embiid pick and roll a lot more in this game than we've been running it. I think that's like our main play that we should be going to, because it's hard to stop. But I give the Nuggets credit for their defensive philosophy and how they were blitzing around the screen and giving Harden, face up double teams and making Embiid beat them basically. And he was settling for jump shots in the third quarter. But Embiid got it rolling a little bit again. We went on a 9-0 run in the third. Maxey had a drive and dunk that I liked. I liked the aggression. Jokic takes 90 steps down the middle of the floor on a transition play, doesn't get called for a travel. The crowd's going crazy. But the Sixers had a 30-point third quarter. Now, the fourth quarter is where we go entirely just vintage 76ers basketball. And a guy that nobody's ever heard of starts bombing away. Bones Highland. Bones Highland starts bombing from three. Bones Highland, ladies and gentlemen. Bones Highland, if drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers, would not be on the floor. There's no way in hell Doc Rivers would ever give this guy the time of day. And that's not a shot at Bones Highland. Somebody replied to me on Twitter and was like angry about it and started calling me names and stuff. I mean, you're not understanding what I'm saying. That's a shot at Doc Rivers and the Sixers organization. They don't give young players a chance to play in NBA games. And you can find very good talent when you just give guys a chance for a couple of minutes. Bones Highland. All right, so the Nuggets go on a run in the fourth, okay? Bones Highland shoots a three from the logo. Somebody help me out. What is it about this Sixers team? What is it about the Philadelphia 76ers? I've been saying this for years now. What is it about the Philadelphia 76ers that other players just have the best games of their entire careers? So Bones Highland hits one from the logo. Bones Highland hits one again. DeMarcus Cousins hits back-to-back threes in the fourth quarter. 40-year-old DeMarcus Cousins with one knee and one Achilles tendon holding his leg together hits back-to-back threes in the fourth quarter of a big-time, prime-time game against the Philadelphia 76ers. DeMarcus Cousins wanted to fight James Harden at half court on a jump ball. That was funny. I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed that Harden just stood there and stared at him like, bro, what are you doing? You got the old school DeMarcus Cousins attitude out there on the floor, which is hilarious because back when he was a 35-point-per-game scorer or whatever he was in those couple of seasons where he was dominating, okay, bro, you can talk all the trash you want, but now you're just a backup center. Nobody cares, DeMarcus Cousins. Literally nobody cares. So Matisse Thybulle gets fouled, falls to the floor. DeMarcus Cousins tries to help him up. Matisse doesn't accept his help. And Cousins is yelling at Matisse Thybulle all the way back to the bench. Mad as hell. Like Matisse Thybulle is the worst player ever because he's supposed to accept your help when you want to. He doesn't have to. What? Like who? You got to respect me. I'm DeMarcus Cousins. How dare you not let me help you up? It's just DeMarcus Cousins. His attitude is so annoying. And Matisse Thybulle is one of the nicest people in the world. So what are you really? Who are you yelling at? Embiid gets the ball on the block on Jokic. They even bring Austin Rivers, which this is funny to me, okay? All of the arguments my Denver Nuggets friends make about the advanced super analytics that say that Nikola Jokic is the most efficient defender in the NBA. And then we say the eye test, and they say you hate statistics and you always point to the eye test. This is what I'm talking about with an eye test. If he was a great defender, he wouldn't need to double Joel Embiid, especially in a primetime ESPN game. I know you're trying to win the game. The strategy is to double Joel Embiid, but it's because you know Nikola Jokic cannot guard Joel Embiid. Can we put that to rest now? It probably happened 10 times in this game. Joel gets the ball on the block, Jokic one-on-one, and they bring a double team right away. That tells me that you know that Nikola Jokic cannot guard Joel Embiid. Can we put that to rest? Anyway, they bring over Austin Rivers on a double. Joel shoots a turnaround fadeaway over both of them. Oh, my goodness. What other notes do I have in the fourth quarter? Embiid gets tackled. They call a flagrant foul. I actually, Ala Abdenabi trying to educate me the entire game is so annoying, but I'm switching back to ESPN, and I got to listen to Hubie Brown, who's 160 years old and doesn't even know what's going on. Hubie Brown is literally making things up every single play just to, talk. Yeah, you see here, he reaches in, and then he's going to hit his arm right here, and that's where the foul's going to be right here. Once you see it right there, there's the So I'm switching back and forth because Allah drives me nuts. I can't listen to Hubie Brown. I should have just went to listen to RB's stream, honestly. That's what I should have listened to. But Embiid gets tackled by Jeff Green or who is it? Something Green. Is it Jeff Green? Is it 35-year-old Jeff Green? Or is it there's another Green on there, right? And they call it a flagrant. And I honestly, he did get his hand on the ball, but he came down on his wrist. Okay, back in the day, that's not a flagrant foul. But in today's game, if a player's in the air, they don't have their feet on the floor, they're off balance, you can't attack him physically in midair and make him land on his back. You just can't do that. So that's why that's a flagrant foul. Sean Quigg, thank you for his super chat, man. Embiid's fifth foul on Jokic was absolute horseshit. Absolute horseshit. I don't understand referees. Jermichael Green, thank you everybody in the chat. I was trying to think of his first name. The eyes that are on this game. You know the entertainment factor that this game is. You know the ratings that this game is bringing. You know what two players everybody wants to watch. You know why everyone's here. Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. That's why everybody's here. An official in the fourth quarter of a primetime ESPN game is going to give Joel Embiid his fifth foul on a slight bump in the extended post when Nikola Jokic takes a dribble and just lowers his shoulder. You're really not going to let these two guys go at it in an ESPN primetime game? Nikola Jokic lowers his shoulder, creates contact, and Embiid gives him a little bump in to say, hey, I'm here too, and you're going to give him his fifth foul? That's unbelievable, and that's terrible officiating, and that's because that's not what people want to see. So he gets his fifth foul right there. Then he gets a massive block, like a possession later. Bones Highland is left wide open once again. Hits again, because why in the world would he miss? He's Bones Highland. He's having a career day against the Sixers, just like every young player has a career day against the Sixers. James Harden turns the ball over with 40 seconds left. And that was a huge one, man. Like, before the possession happens where Tyrese Maxey drives baseline and finishes, which was absolutely clutch, we get James Harden bringing the ball down the floor, 40 seconds on the clock, gets, again, quick double team at half court, and he just throws the ball to the defense. This is the player that's one of the best point guards of all time. It's one of the best floor generals of all time. That was put out of his element and threw the ball away with 40 seconds left. That can't happen. We need a crisper James Harden than that. We need a crisper decision making in crunch time than that from James Harden. Sean Quigg on the super chat, thank you for that. You're saying exactly pretty much what I'm saying right now. Harden needs to stop getting frustrated when he doesn't get the foul call. He gets so distracted when that happens. Just keep driving and force the call. He plays a very strategic game. All right, and he is very good at creating contact. The problem with that part of his game is that he's not actually trying to finish the play. When he plays the game like that, he's relying heavily on getting that foul call. And that can't happen anymore in the NBA because these referees are choosing to not call it. I'm not saying it's not a foul. What's happening is the NBA doesn't want 50 free throws. But listen, from a strict business standpoint, from an entertainment factor, the NBA doesn't want 50 free throws per game. They just don't. And if you're so good at manipulating the defender and drawing those fouls, yes, technically it's a foul, but from a business standpoint for the NBA, they're just going to start not calling it. They're just going to stop calling it because for the casual fan that turns on an ESPN game on a Monday night and says, oh, let me check out the Sixers versus the Nuggets on ESPN. Yeah. They don't want to watch guys shoot free throws the whole game. So I honestly believe that's what the NBA is doing right now. Now, we knew last year they changed the rules so Trae Young and these guys can't jump backwards and sideways and everywhere to get foul calls. They're also just choosing to not call things because they don't want the game to be 75% free throws. That's what's happening, seriously. And James Harden, I'm saying all of this because James Harden needs to understand that. He needs to understand that. You're not getting these foul calls. Stop it. James turns the ball over with 40 seconds left. Maxey has a big-time finish over Jokic. Should have got a foul right there, but, of course, it's Tyrese Maxey. He doesn't get foul calls. Barton misses a free throw. We come down with 17 seconds left. Harden again, fronted with the double team, almost at half court. Kicks to Embiid. Embiid, I don't like what he did right there. I think Embiid needs to do something with the ball right there. Shoot a three, do something. He was 3 for 3. He might have missed one after he was 3 for 3. I don't remember, but he was shooting pretty damn good from the three-point line. With 17 seconds left in a game or under 10 seconds at the time, I'd rather have Embiid shoot it than to kick it all the way across the court for Niang, who was smothered in the corner, and he shanks it off the side of the backboard and then gets his own rebound and shoots a freaking two-pointer with 2 seconds left. Down by 3. I don't understand why he shot that, but he did. I also don't understand, and I'm sure that's what you guys are waiting for me to say. A lot of people in the chat have said it already since the stream started. Why the hell didn't he call a timeout? Blow 95, I see you. Doc should have called a timeout. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have an answer for it. You get an offensive rebound with 2 seconds left. You have nothing going. You have no three-point shot on the floor. You probably did, but it's George Niang with the ball in a panic mode. You call a timeout. And he didn't call a timeout. He just didn't call a timeout, man. He didn't call a timeout. Got a couple people in the Discord, man. Let's take some calls on the Discord. I never used Discord before for live calls on the show, so we're going to give it a shot. See how it goes. Let's check it out, man. The God of Podcast 88, bro. I got to drag you into on air. There we go. I got this. I can do this. There we go. The God, you in there? Yo. Oh, I put him back. Hold on. Oh, there he is.
What's going on?
What's going on, man? What's up?
So I'm not too mad about this game. I'm a little frustrated, but I'm not too mad. I think we needed this game to see some things. My biggest thing is that I think Doc gotta start showing us some coaching at this point. We finally got some pieces on this team. We gotta see some coaching. Timeout should have been called at the end. He's a role player. He's gonna panic in those situations. And where's our plays for a 3-point in those type of situations? Like, what are we running in practice for that? I thought Tobias played great. I'm not gonna say great. I thought Tobias played good. And we seen him be a lot more aggressive. We need that all 4 quarters. Yeah. If he could do that and just cut out some of the little things like the extra dribble he does if Embiid has a good post up, or when he had the ball in the post and he held it so long instead of getting it out to the open guy that was on the wing and end up, I think, drawing a jump ball, or it went out of bounds one of those possessions. So just little things like that. We got to tighten it up. But we did need to see this, because we need to figure out what we're going to do in those type of situations, who's going to be the scorer. We gotta have something in there for Embiid and Harden, or at least Maxey, in a situation where we need that type of situation. It shouldn't have came down to that. So that's my critique for today, man. I agree with you. We got to do better. We need coaching.
I agree with you. Like, I think you're getting all, you now have built a team that you feel like can compete. You still have weaknesses, I guess, like obviously the bench and stuff, but really in the playoffs, you're running maybe an 8-man rotation anyway. And yeah, it's coming down to it's going to come down to the point where it's like, is Doc Rivers good enough?
Yeah. Yeah, and we got to get that bench. The bench isn't great, and we know that. And I don't expect the bench to be better until the summer. I don't expect us to make no moves, really. I don't expect us to really pick up on no real buyouts. I don't even know if there is any good buyouts out there at this point. But I expect the summertime to be where we fix that. But until then, you gotta he'll give us one game where Isaiah and a couple people playing, no fraud. Give us another game where it's just this Niang and a couple of the guys we got. It got to be something different, man. You got to stick to either you're going to open it up or you're going to stay with like 6 or 7.
Yeah, I agree, man. So, yo, thanks for the call, man.
No problem. Thank you. Keep it up, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Thanks for the call, and thanks for being in the Discord. Anybody else who wants to join in, man, go ahead and join the Discord. Link is in the description. Bravo, Carlos. Thank you for becoming a member of the No Fraud Zone. Yeah, Doc Rivers, especially that last possession, 17 seconds left. He has a timeout, and we've seen this before this season with Doc Rivers, where he has a timeout, and it's under 24 seconds. I know it's James Harden, and that's an elite, one of the best to ever do it as far as half court creation. But you got to call a timeout and set up a 3-point play. I know you can't really blame the game on that possession because you were down 3. I mean, you lost. Like that, it probably, more times than not, you're losing a game right there. But 17 seconds left, you need a 3 to tie the game. You call a timeout and you run a play to get a 3. That's what you do. You don't. I just don't get it. He doesn't call a timeout. We end up with the ball in George Niang's hands. Of course, he doesn't know what to do with the ball. You're not mad at Niang. Nobody's mad at Niang. He's a role player. He's not supposed to have the ball right there. It's supposed to be James, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, or Tobias Harris. There's the play where Aaron Gordon just grabs him, Harden by the arm, drags him out of bounds. No call because the NBA is just not calling fouls anymore. But again, I understand it from a business standpoint. I do. You don't want the game to be all free throws because you want the viewer to be entertained. And with these guys being so good at getting to the free throw line, the NBA has no choice but to stop calling it. And that's I really think that's what's happening right here. I really think that's what's happening. Go back to the Discord here. VR Heem. VR Heem, you in here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? I called yesterday and I was talking about the blitzes that teams are starting to do. And I just wanted to talk about it today a little bit more because I actually thought that in the first couple of quarters we were handling them well. Like as soon as they blitzed, Joel would cut to the paint and Harden would make that nice pass to both of the defenders. But for some reason, I don't know why. I swear it happens all the time. We will do something good for a good quarter, and then we just go away from it. I literally don't understand. I don't know if it's Doc Rivers. I don't know if it's the players themselves. But it's so annoying because we played it well, and then once we got into that, I think it was late in the second quarter where he put that weird lineup in, and he had DeAndre Jordan in there. I thought we should have did the same thing, but instead have maybe Maxey or Tobias play at the top so that he can have another person to pass to. But for some reason, as soon as James Harden got blitzed, we would literally we would do nothing. Everybody would just stand there and then we would do nothing. And I really think the downfall of this team is going to be Doc Rivers because I understand obviously if you're not making shots, you're not making shots, right? And I don't even put this game that much on the fact that we weren't shooting as well because I think once we saw that Niang was I think in the first couple of shots that he put up, he was 0 for 3 or something like that. That's as soon as that happens, okay, Isaiah Joe, come in, see if he can give us some good buckets. You do the same thing because we had open shots. It's just they weren't going in. So that's when you have to plug in other players. And Doc Rivers, for some reason, just never does it. I can't stand it.
Yeah, and that's, somebody in the chat just said something about him blowing 3-1 leads, man. I didn't watch Clippers games really when he was coaching them, but if I'm on Twitter a lot, man, and anytime I heard some Doc Rivers complaints from Clippers fans, it was usually the same thing we're seeing from him game in and game out, where he just refuses to make adjustments.
Yeah, and I also wanted to say, I do on the positive side, I do like how we are James Harden and Joel Embiid are adjusting. You could see them on the court adjusting to a lot of things that we see in the past. Ever since that, I really do think that Brooklyn game was good for us because ever since that Brooklyn defense really started doing that heavy blitzing, they've slowly started to learn that where they need to be on the floor. And the only thing I want to tweak is that I do think we need to have Maxey available when that blitz comes, because as soon as that blitz comes, our only options are either give it to Joel, and usually a help defender comes and helps us on the paint. So that leaves somebody open, and hopefully we can start moving Maxey so that we can get him open and he can be our third option, which we should be doing, but we never do. But that's really it for me.
Yeah, hey, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for being in the Discord, man. Yeah, I totally agree. Especially the Maxey point that you make, because Tyrese Maxey has to be the third option. And a lot of times you see Embiid catch the ball at the top and he doesn't swing it. He just holds it and waits for a double or something. There has to be. So you're right. It looks like when James Harden came to this team, Doc Rivers said, okay, here we go. Give the ball to James Harden and see what happens, right? And for 4 games or 5 games, whatever it was, James Harden looked like he was dominating in those 4 games against the Knicks twice, against whoever else it was, right? Now you're seeing teams adjust to it. Now you're seeing teams fly around the screen and double team him at the logo, and you're seeing teams front him way before he can even get around the screen. Now you're seeing now the teams have adjusted to what James Harden is going to do just naturally in the pick and roll. Now it's up to Doc Rivers now to put together a plan, to put together some kind of play package where you see teams playing this kind of defense. Now we have to do something different. That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point, because teams have adjusted now for 3 games. We won the one in Orlando, but damn, it didn't look good. Teams have adjusted for 3 games now, and we haven't made any adjustments. We're still just giving the ball to James Harden, running a pick and roll with Embiid. They fly around the screen. He gives it to Embiid at the top of the key, and everybody stands around and waits to catch and shoot. There has to be another option now. There has to be another play set. There has to be something else now. And you're right. It should probably be Tyrese Maxey on the weak side. Maybe Harden can hit a skip pass across when they're trying to double him because he knows they're going to double Embiid right when he tries to give him the ball. Maybe he can skip pass to Maxey. Maybe you can have a pin down screen in the corner. Oh, my God, a screen away from the ball with Doc Rivers? Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't action and movement from players on the floor be a crazy thing for Doc Rivers to pull out? Wesley Stone, what's up, man? Wesley Stone has been a subscriber to the channel for a long time. He used to be a big-time Ben Simmons defender. He would come in the stream pretty much every show and say, why do you guys hate Ben Simmons, and cry about it for a long time. I think he's gotten over that because now we all see that Ben Simmons is a total fraud.
Never been no fraud.
Right when I said fraud, Jarrett Newsom, thank you for becoming a member of the No Fraud Zone. I appreciate that. Right when he became, what was I saying? Right when Wesley Stone came to the realization that Ben Simmons is a fraud, so he doesn't defend him anymore. But he's in the chat right now with a super chat, and he says star duo gets credit for wins, but doesn't get blamed for losses. Joel Embiid put up 34. Here's the stats right here, bro. This is look. I mean, what? Look. I said Joel Embiid folded in that final play. I said that out loud. I said that. I also said James Harden only having 11 field goal attempts in this whole game isn't okay. He needs to be more aggressive. But you got Joel Embiid with 34, 9, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Are you serious? You got James Harden with 24, 9, and 11. Like, the guy got a 25-point triple-double without being very aggressive. You got 19 from Tyrese Maxey. Well, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to come up here and slander Joel Embiid and James Harden? They scored 70 points. 60. That's all I'm saying, man. Let me get back to the Discord. I think I took myself out of the Discord. Did I take myself out of the Discord? How do I get back in? Owen, what's up, man? Owen, you there? Owen in the Discord. Let's try Rome to Royalty in the Discord. Rome to Royalty, you there? Owen, did I do something wrong in the Discord? Owen, by the way, runs the Discord. He offered to do it, and he set it up amazingly. All the stuff's in there. It's awesome. But now I'm not getting any sound from the Discord. So let's try. Do I have to put myself in the Discord? Do I have to put myself in the voice channel? Let's try Rosin G in the Discord. Unmute. Rosin G, you there? I think I messed up the Discord somehow, man. What did I do? Yo,
man.
So
You weren't in the call. You weren't in the call, but I'll help you out.
I'm not in the call?
Not in the call.
What does that mean?
You have to left click the on air button, man. To join the room.
Oh, I'm not in the room. All right, I'm there now.
There we go. Right here.
Thank you, Owen. Everybody in the chat say thank you to Owen for setting up the Discord and helping me because I just have no idea how to work anything. What's up, man? Do you have thoughts on the game while you're here?
Yeah. No, yeah, I got you. I was at the game tonight, so I got to see it live.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah. The one thing that really bothered me tonight, though, was the rotation in the first quarter when Embiid came out at like 4 minutes. It's like he goes the whole first quarter and then he'll sit the beginning of the second. But today he came out at like 4 and then he went back in at 2 and then he like played the beginning of the second and then they pulled him out. And right when they pulled him out, Jokic came back in and that's when they went on that run with John. And I'm like, that rotation didn't make any sense to me. So I really don't know what Doc was thinking with that. If there was any reason Embiid came out of the game at 4. I don't know. It just confused me.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying on Twitter that Jokic was cooking when Embiid was off the floor. So that was their way of slandering Jokic. You know what I mean? He can only do his thing when Embiid's on the bench. But when you really look at what you're saying right here, like, yeah, why was Embiid on the bench with Jokic out there?
Honestly, they just ended up on opposite rotations. And I don't know. It seemed like it was Rivers who initiated that because he took Embiid out before Jokic. And so he kind of definitely got them on opposite rotations. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it definitely didn't work for the Sixers.
Doc Rivers said, somebody just said in the chat, Doc Rivers said Embiid asked to come out because he was tired.
I mean, I guess that makes sense then. But it definitely did affect the game. I wouldn't blame it on Rivers then. It just on the back-to-back, but...
Yeah, that's what sucks about this. People thought we should have rested Embiid and Harden in the Orlando game, and I wouldn't have minded it. It would have been annoying, obviously, for me to watch it and do a post-game live or something without those guys playing. But at the same time, like a primetime game against Denver, you want Embiid and Jokic to go at each other, and you got a tired version of Embiid after flying for 3 hours. So maybe they should have rested him against Orlando.
Embiid still dropped 34 and absolutely dominated Jokic. The box score doesn't show how dominant Embiid was tonight. He played so well.
Yeah, say it again for the people in the back and say it for Swipe a Cam. Embiid did what to Jokic today?
Dominated him. Absolutely dominated him.
Yeah, I mean, a VORP, Raptor, whatever advanced other metric you want to use, when you watch them on the court at the same time, it's blatantly obvious who is the more dominant NBA player.
Very clear, yeah. Well, that's all I got for you, man.
All right, bro, thanks. Thanks for helping me out.
Yep, no problem. Peace.
Let's go to Rome to Royalty. Now that I'm actually in the voice chat. Rome to Royalty, what's up, man?
Yo.
What's going on?
Oh, shit, I don't even... Yeah, this Discord shit is hella confusing.
You're telling me I'm the only reason I can use it is because I have subscribers that offered to set it up for me. I don't even know what I'm doing. But the audio is crystal clear. I love it, and it's easier than
it is sharp, sure. But shit, this is Pessimist Rome calling again from Prague, Rhode Island.
Oh, this is Pessimist Rome. Okay, let's hear it, man. You got three games in a row now. 3 games in a row now. You're starting to look like I was wrong for coming at you.
No, I'm not even. It's really not even about being right or wrong. Honestly, I was just being a realist and basing, like, telling y'all how I felt, like, off rip. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they jump on the bandwagon and go with what's the mainstream is talking about. Like, oh, James Harden, this, that, and the third, and talking about his accolades. But they're not really watching the games and seeing how everything is transpiring. But I'm not here to bash James Harden because I don't think the loss was on him. Doc Rivers really has to step up and get complex with this offense. Like he is not savvy at all on offense. It's kind of crazy. It's like we have 3 guys who all the eyes are on when they have the ball. Well, for the most part, Tyrese Maxey, he could be one of those guys because his explosiveness off the dribble, you know what I'm saying? And that creates another dynamic, dribble, driving, and kicking to our open shooters. But it's like whenever James Harden, Maxey, or Embiid has the ball, it's like you just see us standing around and waiting for them to make a move, and there's no back cuts, no off ball screens. Like it's none of that. It's kind of crazy, and you wonder if he's just waiting for shit to to show things in the playoffs, but his track record shows he doesn't, you know, adjust. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy.
No, you're right. I agree.
I
I said that a couple minutes ago. I don't see any creativity outside of James Harden and Joel Embiid pick and roll. It doesn't seem like there's anything else happening on the floor. And then, you know, when teams start to front that and start to pressure James Harden 40 feet away from the basket and he gets rid of the ball real fast, there's no action anywhere else.
Yeah, it's bad, but like it was kind of like everything was masked the first couple of games because like the ball was going in, like the pick, everything was working to everything sweet, you know what I'm saying? And James Harden said in the press conference, we didn't face adversity or whatever, everything was sweet. So a lot of things didn't come out in the wash, but everything that's coming in the wash, not to say I was waiting on those things to happen, but I was waiting to see how we answered to things like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of unfortunate that you have a guy that no one knows hit a barrage of threes and go off like that. You know what I'm saying?
But again, they didn't adjust to him. They didn't adjust to him either. When he hit one from the logo and then another one, the next couple of minutes he was wide open again. So even in-game adjustments, like, you know, hey, somebody guard that guy.
And he was easy to shut down. Like, it's not like he's like that. You know what I'm saying? Because on one of the threes, right before the 24 shot clock violation, he like hesitated for a few seconds. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not really. I don't think I really never watched the guy, but like all we had to do is put some pressure on him and you know what I'm saying, contest his threes. I don't think he was making them shits, but he was shooting some deep shits though. So you got to give him his credit. But it was just unfortunate. But I think this falls on and adjust. But that's really all I got.
I agree with you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I agree, man. It's, you know, the pressure's now on Doc Rivers. You know what I mean? We got your point guard. You got a superstar center. You know, the first half of this game, there's games where the supporting cast looks atrocious. There's games where the supporting cast looks better. The beginning of this game, when I'm seeing, you know, Tobias Harris score 7 in the first and Maxey start to be aggressive again, I'm saying, like, you know, you got James, you got Embiid, you got some role players, not the deepest bench ever, but, you know, there's now pressure on Doc Rivers to start to be creative here because it's getting to the point where it's like, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when teams start to make you sweat? What are you going to do as an adjustment? Simmons guy 19. How do I unmute people? Unmute your mic, my man. Can you unmute your mic or do I got to do that? Simmons guy 19, you there, man? No Simmons guy 19, man. No Ben Simmons fanboys in the voice chat. Sick Hayes, what's up, man? Sick Hayes.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Sorry, we're having a full combo in there.
What's that?
But no, I just wanted to call about tonight. I just think some people overreact to what happened today. It's a back-to-back OT. You could tell at the end of the game nobody was hitting it. There were so many open shots missed. Just, I don't know. I'm not worried. I think they played pretty well, considering, I mean, blowing a 20-point lead isn't ideal, but.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, honestly. You know, yeah, you're right. People don't take into account that it was a back-to-back, and they played an overtime game in Orlando. And I remember being annoyed by that in Orlando, watching the game in Orlando, that it was going to overtime, because I was like, great, now we got to play Denver tomorrow night, and we're sitting here in overtime with the damn Orlando Magic. So I agree with that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, this is all just learning right now. I mean, they're just learning. I mean, you're learning how to play with people. A lot of people, some people blame Doc. What is Doc supposed to do with that bench tonight? Who's he putting in? I don't know.
I agree that people blame Doc a lot of times when it comes to the bench or his rotations, when, you know, what choice does he have but to put the bench guys out there at certain points of the game, and the bench guys just aren't good players. I agree with that, but I would like to see more creativity on this outside of the, you know, when teams start to pressure James Harden 40 feet away. There's got to be another plan here.
No, I agree with that. But I mean, if you shorten the rotation, I mean, he's not going to short it to 8, but ideally it would be an 8-man rotation. If you have George coming off, Danny Green and DeAndre Jordan, that's not that bad. of a playoff rotation, if you ask me. I mean, and what you throw in a ninth, Shake Milton, that's not terrible.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong. There's games where they look like a competent bench, and there's games where they look terrible. But
this was not a good competent bench game.
No, not at all. Not at all. Neither was the last couple. Not at all.
But I'm not worried. I am thoroughly impressed, and what Embiid did tonight to Jokic, man. There's all these stands on Twitter talking about how he outplayed Embiid. That man had 7 turnovers and looked lost half the game. I don't.
All I gotta say to him is he got Embiid 1-on-1 so many times, and they brought a double. He can't guard him 1-on-1.
Well, there's a bunch of people on Twitter. There was a whole big thread on Twitter about how at the end of the game, when Embiid had 5 fouls, he wasn't guarding Jokic.
He wasn't. They didn't want him to foul out.
Look, he doesn't want to defend Jokic at the end of the game.
He had 5 fouls.
That's what I said.
Yeah. He wanted to guard him. That ref called a little touch foul in the fourth quarter of a playoff atmosphere type of game.
And that's why, when you're talking to these Joker fans out there, I feel like they're like casual fans, and that's why they look at the stats and they're like, "Oh, his Raptor, his Vort." Like, yeah, it's just, dude, anyone who knows basketball, watch that game today. Who is the better player?
And he was coming off a back-to-back in overtime in Orlando. I mean, imagine if he was fully rested. He was ready to destroy Jokic, and he put up 34 and 9 on a back-to-back.
It just really sucks that with that performance, the bench just,
Yeah.
And Danny Green looked awful.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I don't. Danny Green comes back from like a dislocated finger or whatever it was, but you can't just throw him out there after a couple games off. Like, you gotta, I don't know, give him a week of practice or something. He's not good.
What was up with the pump fake push up for the twos that were
Listen, there's nothing I want to see less in my life than a Danny Green mid-range jump shot.
He did it all game. I was like, yo, this guy is selling.
I don't want to see that ever. It's bad. He doesn't know how to do it, actually. He shoots it like so hard off the back of the rim because it's like, just shoot threes, dude. Don't shoot mid-range jump.
I was so confused. The whole game.
Oh, man.
But anyway, man, that's all I got, man. Keep at it, bro.
Thank you, man. And I like your take on people overreacting, because I'm probably overreacting, you know what I mean? But I like the fact that you came in here and reminded me that we played better than we have in the past 2 games. And, we were on a back-to-back. Embiid was tired. We played an overtime game last night, and we put up a pretty good fight, a really good fight, against another pretty good NBA basketball team. The Nuggets are 41-28. We're 41-26. They're in the Western Conference. They got an MVP player on their team. I was happy with how we played in this game. That's the thing. Like, those last couple of possessions were annoying, but they weren't like, oh my God, how could you do this? This team is terrible. I thought both teams played a hard-fought game. It came down to the wire, and we folded in crunch time. So you're right. I'm not really freaking out about it. Rasan G in the Discord. What's up, man?
Hello?
What's up, Rasan?
Oh, yo, what's up, man? Just appreciate that you got me on the show, first of all. But, yeah, I just wanted to come on and just talk about how I feel like our fans, Sixers fans, we not looking at the bigger picture. I feel like I come on here a few times, actually, but I just feel like everybody is looking at the game, and when we lose, it's like, oh, the Sixers are trash. And when we win, it's like, oh, yeah, we're going to the finals. I'm like, people are getting
We've always been like that, though.
Too high and too low.
We've always been like that. That's actually me. That's literally me. And I'm not saying it's right, but you're absolutely right about it. You're right.
No, thanks. Yeah, I mean, look, it's like, I know that it's frustrating, and when we don't play like we want to, but I just want people to realize it's always, every game is a learning experience, win or lose, and that's what builds championship teams. Like, we didn't play just horrible today. We played a pretty good game, and with minor adjustments, we can easily find out how to pull away a game like this because it was in our hands. This isn't a game that we can't win. So I just think everybody has to calm down a little bit. We're figuring everything out. and Harden and Embiid made adjustments, looked way better than last game. So I feel like that's the stuff that we got to look at and harp on, and not just that we're losing.
No, you're right. You're right. And there's a lot of things that I wanted to take away from this game that are positive. One of them was how Tobias Harris at least started this game. He disappeared, but at least how he started this. And he's been talking about how he's been practicing differently than he ever has in his career, where he's trying hard to be a quick trigger, like catch and shoot 3-point shooter, playing alongside James Harden. So, I was happy with what I heard from Tobias Harris before the game and what I saw at least in the first quarter. I just want to see some adjustments when teams, are flying out around that screen with the James Harden pick and roll, because once he gives up the ball, there doesn't look like a whole lot of action. But you're right. That's what we need to go through to learn and get back in practice and do something different, right?
Right, exactly. And also, I also wanted to touch on, Harden's game, because he's in like a weird middle ground right now, where I've been watching Harden forever. Like, so I just know.
Yeah, I remember you calling and talking about Harden. Yep.
Yeah, facts. I just know when he's in his head a little bit, and so when he has a horrible shooting night like that, he obviously wants to make up for it, like any great player, and so that's why you see the shots go down, because he doesn't want to shoot really inefficient. So he kind of, when his games like this where he takes 11 shots, just know that he's in his head thinking like, I don't want to force, because everybody's like, Harden only took 11 shots, this and that. Okay, but if he takes 18 shots and then he misses, the rest of them, it's like, okay, he shoots 6 for 18 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's in a spot right now where he's trying to gain his confidence back and just not force stuff. But at the same time, I see where people are coming from about wanting him to be more aggressive. But I think that'll all come. I don't want this to be like a super long call, man, but we're definitely on the right path, everybody. That's all I really wanted to say.
Hey, I like
we're
that,
on the
man.
right path.
I appreciate you. Thanks for the positive energy, man. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
And I agree that Harden is in a little bit of a weird space right now, especially after 2 games of shooting, 3 for 90 or whatever it was. Like he was 3 for 17 against the Brooklyn Nets, and then he was 5 for 19 against the Orlando Magic. So, James Harden is probably like, I gotta maybe shoot the ball less or something like that. But at the same token, Doc Rivers pregame said that he doesn't like Harden not being aggressive, and he wants him to be more of a scoring threat and less of a point guard. So, there's a little bit of a disagreement there. But you're absolutely right that we just got this guy on our team. That's the issue here. That's why I wasn't freaking out about the Nets game. I'm not freaking out about this game. I was upset about the Orlando game because it was annoying, but they pulled out the victory. But I'm pretty sure I said when we first got James Harden, you got to give it at least 10 games. You got to give it at least 10 James Harden games before you can even start to assess what's happening on the floor. You can't just add a guy. We're going to just add this guy, and now we're going to win every game for the rest of the season. Like, that doesn't make sense. There's chemistry things. He has to learn every player on the team and their tendencies and what they like to do, what spots they like to be in. So you're absolutely right, man. This is all a learning curve with a brand new a player joining a team and trying to learn everybody and trying to run the point guard position, be the floor general for a bunch of guys that he literally just met a week ago. So, man, I agree, man. Bravo, Carlos, man. What's up? Thanks for the super chat. Doc, game plans are elementary, maybe high school, like very simple and almost zero thought process. I feel like he's just winging it. I feel the same way, too, a lot. Man. I do. It looks to me like Doc Rivers got James Harden and said, okay, James, here's the ball. Go win us a bunch of games. And the first 4 games, it looked great. The last 3 games, the two games, Brooklyn and Orlando, did not look great. This game, looked better. But, yeah, it doesn't look like Doc really has a plan with James Harden. He just thinks James can just go out, play point guard, and make things up and win the game for him. There has to be a little bit of strategy here. So, like I said, I agree. Now the pressure's on Doc Rivers to make adjustments after, other teams seem like they're making adjustments to us running pick and rolls with James Harden the whole game. SG Blockchain, thanks for hanging out, man. I got you on now. What's going on? Is he still there? Did he leave? He was waiting too long. SG Blockchain, you there? He gone. He's tired of waiting. Yeah, so I don't know what else to say, man. The Sixers lose to the Denver Nuggets, 114-110. There's your boy bombing threes from the logo. It was a fun game. It was entertaining. I enjoyed watching it. I'm obviously not happy with how it ended with George Niang ending up with the ball in the corner, shooting it off the side of the backboard, and then putting up a damn two-pointer with 3 seconds left down by 3. But, that fourth quarter, man, you really got that vintage 76ers where a couple of players that should not be going off in an NBA game are just absolutely going off against us. DeMarcus Cousins, Bones Highland. But yeah, I agree with the last caller, man, that it's all a learning curve right now. James Harden's trying to figure out the whole team and learn everybody's tendencies and the way that they play and where they want to be on the floor and how the defense is going to attack him and what he can do when the defense does attack him and pressure him at, almost half court. SG, what's up, man? You're there? Well, I put you in. What's up? Are you there? Every time I put you in, it puts you back in the waiting room. Yo. Yep, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on, SG. I don't know. Again, I have no idea what I'm doing with Discord. I just have people running it for me, and I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Discord on this show. I liked it, man. So if you want to call the show after 76ers games, join the Discord. The link is in the description. Don't forget, manscaped.com. Use the code NOINTRO for 20% off and free shipping. The best male grooming company in the world. They got everything on there, man. They got razors. They got nose hair trimmers. They got scissors. They got everything. Go check it out and use my promo code NOINTRO for 20% off and free shipping. That's pretty much all I got, man. You guys got any questions in the comments, man? Throw some questions in the comments. We'll have a little bit of a relaxing chat here before I jump up out of here, man. I don't know what you guys are doing in the chat. Are you guys arguing in the chat? Are you fighting with each other? Are you guys fighting with Wesley Stone in the chat? Don't do that. Don't even respond to him, bro. Can players kick fans out now? There was two fans that were escorted from the arena. I think it had something to do with DeMarcus Cousins. I don't remember. I don't know. I guess players can kick fans out now. I don't know, man. Wesley, I'm just messing with you, man. James Wilk, what's up, bro? Yo, Eastwood, you think we'll see the Nuggets in the finals during the Harden and Embiid era? Oh, man, wouldn't that be amazing? Mark Schmeakel says, hell no, neither team's making the finals. Well, the thing about sports is you can't predict the future. You have no idea who's going to be in the finals this year, next year, or the year after. Yes, that would be amazing to have this as a final series. Like, imagine this as a final series. Imagine 7 games of this right here. You know, I would very much enjoy it. SG, I'm gonna drag you into the call room one more time. Oh, he left now. Yeah, I would very much enjoy Sixers Nuggets finals, man. I would really, really much enjoy that. The Warriors with healthy Steph and Clay had like 2 straight weeks of playing like ass. It happens. Hey, Remo. Remo with the positivity. Remo with the positivity. We need that. We need that. Thank you. SG, let's try this again, man. SG, you there? SG, I don't know, dude. It kicks you right back into the waiting room. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know, man. What would be the most fun finals matchup? I would enjoy this, actually. I would enjoy this. I would enjoy Sixers Nuggets finals. I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think the Denver Nuggets are going to get their players back, obviously, with enough time to build any chemistry or anything like that to really take out the top teams in the West. You know, I think they would definitely need Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. back and have time to put that together, get some chemistry. So I don't think we'll see the Nuggets there. Ryan Connors, thank you for the super chat. He says, JaMychal kicked me out because I said he sucks. Ryan, that was you. Ryan, that was you, bro. That was you that got kicked out of the game. Don't tell me that's... Please tell me you're trolling. Or were you seriously at the game and you got kicked out? We still got 274 in the chat. Everybody hit the like button, man. All 274, please hit the like button. You guys are the real MVPs up here at almost midnight on a weeknight, still in the chat. So, you know. Ryan Connor says, hell yeah, I was chirping him all game. Ryan, are you being absolutely serious? You're the one that got kicked out of the game? If so, I need you to call the show right now. No, you're lying, bro. You're not. It wasn't you. Come on, man. He's too soft to hear a different perspective. Nick21, what's up, man? DJ, would you do Tobias and Matisse for John Collins and Gallinari? What? Would I do what? Would I do what? Bro, I would do Tobias Harris and Matisse Thybulle for John Collins and Gallinari yesterday. Are you serious? Where do I sign? Gallinari is one of the best bench players in the NBA. He's probably a starting level player still at this point in his career. John Collins is miles better than Tobias Harris. Especially fitting with our system, fitting with James Harden. Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, the Hawks are not doing that, CJO. You're absolutely right. To imagine having a high-flying power forward like John Collins, who can also play defense, who can also shoot a three better than Tobias Harris. I would, in a split second, trade Tobias Harris for John Collins. I would trade Tobias Harris and draft picks for John Collins. And then you tell me I get to get rid of Matisse Thybulle for Gallinari. And again, I love Matisse Thybulle's defense, but you saw it in this game tonight. The half-court, fourth quarter, crunch time, it's hard to have Matisse Thybulle on the floor. Ryan, is this you? Yo, Ryan, is this you? Hold on, man. I got to connect you to the Bluetooth 1 second. My bad. Yo, Ryan, is this you?
Okay. Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah, I was at the game. I was sitting courtside, and I was chirping him the whole game. It started with Monte Morris. I yelled at him. I said, yo, Monte, you suck. And then he runs over to me, and he's like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. And that's the end of that. So then JaMychal Green gets in, and I'm like, yo, who is that? Is that Jeff Green? Because it has Green on the back of his jersey, and I know they had Jeff Green, so I'm calling him by the wrong name at first. And I guess it pissed him off. And then the whole game, I'm just saying, JaMychal Green, you suck. JaMychal Green, you suck. and eventually starts yelling back at me like in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, he just flips me off, and he comes over. He's like yelling at me even more. I'm like, yo, why is this guy yelling at me? He has 4 points right now. They're like, focus on the game. I tell him, I'm like, yo, focus on the game. What are you yelling at me for? And all of a sudden, he's like, meet me outside. He flips me off. Then he goes and tattletales on the ref. He's like, kick this guy out. I'm like, I didn't even swear at him. Why are you kicking me out? He literally threatened me.
He flipped you off?
Yeah, he flipped me off. And then he snitched on me like right after.
He said he goes and
meet me outside.
He said, meet me outside.
Yeah. For telling him he sucked. Jokic turned around when I told him that too.
So what does the staff say to you when they walk up to you? What did they say?
Who did?
The staff. Like the people that kick you out. What did they say?
Yeah. So they were the dudes at first. He's like, come on, man, you gotta go. And he was kind of talking to me. He's like, oh, he's soft, like because they're like, oh, it's league protocol. We just have to kick you out. And the dudes in the office, when they brought me to the office, they're like, oh, dude, we understand. Like, you're not getting banned. Like, they're soft. It's just league protocol. We got to kick you out of the game.
So it's league protocol now? You get kicked out of a game if a player doesn't like you?
Dude, apparently if he points at you and tells you to leave, you got to leave.
What?
Crazy.
I really hope this is a true story.
Yeah, 100%, man. I got the wristband on my wrist right now.
Say swear to God.
Yeah, swear to God.
That is legendary, man. Thank you for calling in and telling that story, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and I'm glad you didn't get banned. And did he hang up? Oh, he hung up. I'm glad you didn't get banned. But if that's true and players can just point at people and kick them out, Ben Matt Koss says Ben Simmons is about to go crazy. Ben Simmons is about to point at every damn person in the stands. Ben Simmons is about to kick out every player in the stands. Oh my goodness, man. Well, yeah, Sixers lose. It is what it is. Blockchain, I'm gonna give you one more chance, bro. You're on air. Blockchain, you there? I don't know what's up with blockchain, man. Listen, thank you guys for tuning in, man. Ryan gets kicked out of the game for telling Jermichael Green that he sucks. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Sixers lose to the Nuggets. I'm gonna agree with the one caller that it's a learning curve right now. It's still a learning curve right now. It's not that big of a deal. I really am happy with how we played against this team the majority of the game. If Tobias Harris is a little more consistent in this game and we have a little bit more of a plan with the final couple possessions, we don't end up with George Niang shanking the ball off the side of the backboard and then shooting a 2 down by 3 with 3 seconds left. Or, I mean, the James Harden turnover with 40 seconds was really a shot in the heart, man. The James Harden turnover with 40 seconds was really a dagger. Like, he can't do that. He can't do that. But again, we have to have somebody flash into the ball when they're throwing that many defenders at him 40 feet away from the basket. So, again, man, it's all teams win and lose throughout the NBA season. Ups and downs, and hopefully they get in practice and they make some adjustments for teams playing defense like this. We fell apart at the end of the game. That's what happened. We'll have to see what happens next game, man. You can only see what happens next game. We can't sit up here and cry about it. Thank you guys for being here. Kyle Whistle, do we have a Nuggets fan? Hold that L. Y'all are the most overrated squad in the league. Imagine having an educated sports conversation. Hold that L. Y'all are the most overrated squad in the league, says Kyle and his 6th seed Denver Nuggets. Okay, Kyle. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.